Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. Welcome to another episode of the Debt Demolisher TV, where we are actually live streaming as we go over the one and only Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough in honor of Financial Literacy Month. We have been taking this book 10 pages at a time since the start of April, and we will continue taking this book 10 pages at a time until we get to the ending of April. It is an honor to be before you all tonight as we continue on our conversation and really tap into that space of faith. We may have a dream, we may have a desire, we may have a willingness to want to accomplish something or to see something or to experience something that has never been done before. But if we allow ourselves to feel like we can only do this in our own strength, tonight we're going to course correct that the right way. We're going to course correct that, and we're going to prove and show and encourage that we need to back our dreams up with faith, and capital faith. Let me pop out the chat so I can see who is here, so I can see who's in the room, I can see who's in the building, and then we will go ahead and get our conversation started. I'm glad to be here before you all. Let me pop out the chat so that I can see, and then we're going to go ahead and get this convo started. All right, who do we have in the room? We got Q Scott in the building saying, hey, Q Scott, hey, Q Scott, let's go. Hey, Q Scott, hey, Q Scott, let's go, Q Scott in the building. We also got Coach Harut in the building saying, hello, everyone. Hello, Coach Harut. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here all the way from the West Side. Cali, stand up, Coach Harut. Let's go. Sherry is also here saying, happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you, Sherry. Welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here and that you're continuing to stay in the work. Let's go, Sherry. Q Scott says that I got caught up on my readings this afternoon in this book. Not so much yet on the Patreon book, but I'll get it done. Yes, I know we are cranking out the reading assignments on the Patreon side, and it's been coming. I had the announcement that's going to be coming forward to share with you all the Patreon only live stream that we're going to be having this month, as well as our Patreon only discussion for the month of April related to the books that we're covering. So yes, I know it's a lot because we're doing a book over here. We're doing a book on Patreon. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So I know it's a lot. So I want to thank y'all for still continuing to do the work, to show up to the live streams, to do the readings. And I thought of something today that I'm not going to announce right now, but I thought of something and I was like, man, that'll be a really good idea. So I have something in mind. It'll be forthcoming. I'm not going to spill the beans. It'll be forthcoming. Why does it feel like it's something on my head? Do y'all see that? I don't know what it is. I don't know what that was. I see it. I don't know what it is. Got sidetracked. All right. Acacia is in the building saying, greetings, DDTV kings and queens. Yes, Acacia. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Let's go. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Let's go. Acacia is in the building. Acacia says, no, you straight. Thank you so much. Sherry says, is Patreon only or everyone? So the live stream for the month of April is for Patreon only. Yes, so that's for Patreon only. We have a different book that we're reading over there. And so we have our weekly kind of video drops that I share. And then I do a live stream discussion just for Patreon where folks can come in and we talk about what we're reading and what we're covering on that side. And then for Divinity, I think Divinity, the interview that we're going to have with Divinity, I think is going to be Patreon only for that live stream, if I'm not mistaken. I got to confirm with Divinity to make sure that that's okay. But Peaceful Love is in the building. Hey, Peaceful Love, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. And thank you so much for the flowers, not just for me, but for everybody in the room. Thank you so much, Peaceful Love, for giving us our bouquets of flowers. And let me see if I can copy this so I can give you yours back. Can I do that? I don't even know how to do it. Let me see if I can find flowers. See if I can find a flower. Well, I can't find the bouquet, but I found the sunflower. I can't find the bouquet, but I found the sunflower, so I put that in there. Thank you, Divinity. Thank you, Divinity. No, thank you, Peaceful Love. Thank you, Peaceful Love. Look, I got Divinity's mind in my head. Divinity's name is in my head, so trying to do that. Okay. Q Sky says, no, we're good. All is pertinent and good info. Amen. Sherry says, I meant the announcement you were going to announce. Oh, the announcement that I'm going to make. Oh, that's going to be for everybody. That's going to be for everybody. That's going to be for everybody because I want all the DDTV to be in that space. I want all the DDTV to be in that space. So for sure, that's going to be for everybody. The announcement that's coming is definitely going to be for everybody. Peaceful Love is laughing. Now, I don't know how to, okay. Learning something new with this technology. Coach Aru says, thanks, Peaceful Love, for the flowers. And she gave you a bouquet back too. Let's go. All right. Sherry says, thumbs up. So awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. How was the beginning of chapter 2 for you all? How was the beginning of chapter 2 of the wealth choice for you all? We're starting out today with page 111, which opens up. Did I say chapter 2? I meant to say chapter 3. That opens up with chapter 3, which is believe in thyself when no one else will. Believe in thyself when no one else will. And you know where this is going. Because when nobody else believes in you, and I'm going to share this inspiration because this was powerful. If nobody else believes in you, you got to have something that's going to be able to support you to keep on going, even if you're not getting the tangible, the physical support right here in the present. What's going to keep you going when nobody else will? Your faith. This is why we got to back our dreams up with some faith. On the page 111, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says that faith is the best substitute for friends, pedigrees, influence, and capital. Faith is the best substitute. It's the best substitute for any of these physical or tangible things that we may feel like we need to proceed in life. Can't nothing beat faith. And our morning inspiration quote, which was released earlier today, came from page 111, whereby faith binds the hopeful to their task until their deeds are accomplished. Faith is that something within which does not guess, but knows. It doesn't guess, it knows. So faith allows you to stand in a state of assurance. Faith allows you to stand in a state of confidence. Faith allows you to stand in a space of, I know, like I know, like I know, like I know. No doubt, no hesitation, because I know who's backing me. And I know who put this thing inside of me for me to be able to release, regardless of the trials and the tribulations along the way, which we're going to touch on. Powerful stories in this section so far that we've read. But you got to know, like you know, like you know. You got to know, like you know, like you know. Page 112 says, faith sees resources, untapped powers, unlimited possibilities, and potential that doubt and fear conceals. That doubt and fear conceal. So faith allows you to see resources in something that somebody without faith won't be able to see. Faith allows you to tap into a next level power within not just yourself, but in your mind. Back up your life by faith. Have a conversation with God. Challenge him. Lord, your word said. Faith allows you to see unlimited possibilities. Unlimited possibilities. Faith also allows you to see potential. He says, all that endures, everything that stands the test of time has been carved out of the bedrock of faith. There is no medicine like faith. There is no medicine like faith. That just gave me the chills. Because faith can be your subscription. No, faith can be your prescription. Faith can be the very prescription that you need to fully heal. Faith can be the only prescription that you need to become whole, to renew your body, to renew your mind, to renew your soul. But so many times we fail to pick up the prescription. We fail to pick up the prescription. Faith. Faith provides both power and the glory. In this section of our readings, we had an opportunity to hear a little bit more or read more about Cathy Hughes' story. Now, a lot of people know about Cathy Hughes. If you haven't recognized the name, she was big in radio, big in a lot of things. You heard of Radio One, and if you've read it or if you've listened to it, then you heard her story of where she started and how much passion she had from a kid when it came to communication waves. Even as a kid, sometimes we don't even realize that very thing that we were so attached to as a young child is the very thing that could be attached to our wealth, is the very thing that could be attached to our success, is the very thing that is our gift, our talent, and our greatest reward. Some things that we downplay is worth millions. Some things that we downplay about ourselves is worth billions. Some things that we take lightly is worth trillions. Reading from the subsection, according to thy faith be unto you. We're starting with Cathy Hughes and her telling her story. Cathy Hughes was the founder of the African American radio network called Radio One. Radio One. And she has been called the most powerful woman in radio. The most powerful woman in radio. Cathy Hughes purchased her first radio station in 1990. In 1990. And guess how many stations she owns at the time of the writing of this book? 70 stations. She was the first female owner to operate a radio station ranked #1 in any major market. And she was the first African-American female to head a publicly traded company. Somebody say stock exchange. Somebody say stock exchange. Her path to success has been a long, arduous climb that most couldn't or even wouldn't endure. But she chose to dismiss the struggles, her struggles from homelessness, her struggleness of a life as a single parent, her struggles of the banks refusing to lend to her for the much needed capital that she needed for her business idea. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough writes a quote that Cathy Hughes says, which is, you survive because you are doing something that you love. You survive because you are doing something that you love. That's passion. That's pureness. That's wholeness. That's serenity. Even in the midst of the struggle, you still won't do what you love. Even in the midst of the struggle, you're still going to press forward and persevere. You're still going to continue your vision, your goal, your purpose, because it's something that fuels you. This fuels me. This fuels me on a whole nother level. Being able to come before you all, speak my truth, dialogue as we go through these concepts, and I'm reflecting how this is making me think different, or how it's causing me to challenge the way that I'm looking at things holistically, not just in finances, but in life, period. It fuels me to serve someone. It fuels me to get on a call with somebody. It fuels me to see them have an aha moment. It fuels me to see them get their win, whatever that win is. You survive because you are doing something that you love. So not only am I choosing that I'm going to survive, I'm choosing that I'm going to thrive because I'm doing what I love. Cathy Hughes says that her mother constantly drilled, believe in God, believe in yourself. If you fail, you let your people down. Cathy Hughes said that they were taught to achieve, not in spite of our race, but because of our race. Not in spite of, but because of. So not in spite of my hardships growing up, it's going to be because of the God I serve, I gotta achieve. Because of the anointing that has been placed on my life, I gotta believe while I'm achieving. Cathy Hughes' story was powerful. She talked about all of the ups and the downs, the challenges that she faced. And on page 116, I wrote something in the margin as a result of reading about the vision that Kathy Hughes had and the opportunity that she saw when the very thing, the very idea, the very concept and focus and target that she chose to go after, that she chose to pursue, when everybody else started copying her or copying what they were doing, instead of getting upset about it, she was like, hold on, we can find a way to monetize this. But because she wasn't in charge, I guess, per se, in the moment, because she was supporting another station, they didn't like the idea. They didn't like the idea. So sometimes you as a visionary can get shut down or held back as a result of somebody who may not be. So let's read this section of the story, starting on page 114. And I got excited when I read this too, because I remember I said, I used to listen to the Quiet Storm, 96.3 WHUR. I used to listen to the Quiet Storm. I used to listen to the Quiet Storm late at night. I think it used to come on 11 o'clock on the radio. But let me read. So the result was the Quiet Storm. Well, let me go back a little bit. Kathy Hughes basically remembered a concept that she learned through a training program or 6 week course that she attended, and they taught about psychographic programming. And she said that she knew that based on the area that she lived in, where she was, that this was an area of impressive population of single Black women who yearned for late night soothing music, rhythm and blues. So she said the result was the Quiet Storm, which was a program of lush, slow jams by vocalists such as Nancy Wilson, Billy Eichenstein, Dionne Warwick. One song flowed into the other as the format mixed female and male vocalists, old and new. In the midst of the disco craze, the Quiet Storm rejuvenated the careers of singers who had lost their radio audience. Begun as a weekend segment and hosted by student disc jockeys, the program became so popular that within weeks of its debut, it was airing nightly. This innovative format allowed Hughes to distinguish herself by increasing the revenues of the station from $250,000 to $3 million per year. She said, it didn't take long for other stations to notice, and soon urban contemporary stations across the country copied the concept. I'm telling y'all, we living in a world of a bunch of copycats. We live in a world with a bunch of copycats. As you can see, I was sensitive about that because I underlined that and I said, wow. But people model things. And if they see something that's a success or they see something that's going on, they're going to want to jump in. So the person who originated this idea, which was Kathy Hughes, this was her concept. This was what she came up with. She said, when they noticed that these urban contemporary stations was copying their flow, incorporating slow jam segments into their radio spin, however you want to call it. I remember the Quiet Storm because they had the little theatrics and everything. You could hear the little thundering and the rain and Quiet Storm. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Quiet Storm. She says, in the wake of his popularity, Hughes urged Howard's administrator. So remember, WHUR is a Howard University radio station. So Hughes didn't own the radio station. She just happened to begin to start working there. She joined the staff. She said that she urged Howard's administrators to license that concept, to license the program, to license it. This is what Kathy Hughes said. A licensing agreement, she reasoned, would have allowed the university to sell the format to other stations. However, unable to see the commercial viability, Howard's officials declined. They declined, promising herself from that moment on, she would be in control of her creativity. Hughes left Howard in 1978 to serve as vice president and general manager of WYCB AM, which was a local gospel station. So sometimes all it can take is just one rejection of something that you know that is powerful for you to say, okay, I'm not putting my faith and I'm not putting a cap on my creativity for nobody. I'm going to step on and I'm going to step out and we're going to keep this thing going. And what is the most profitable type of business event now? Licensing. People make millions off of licensing agreements. Millions off of licensing agreements. But back in 1978, they didn't even think that that was possible. They didn't understand the viability of it. They didn't see the growth potential in it. They didn't see the value in her creativity. And so because of that, they missed out on something major. They missed out on being the trendsetter of turning radio style concepts into a license. We paying for license every day, by the way, if you have not known that. The subscriptions you have, the service plans you have, those are licenses because you are borrowing space on the platform. You are borrowing the ability to use this concept or to use this idea. And this is why people patent. This is why people trademark. This is why people do all of the things to protect intellectual property so that you can remain the owner of whatever concept you created and just allow people to use it at a fee. To use it at a fee. Recurring fee, by the way, might I add. I wrote in the margins after that, I said, bingo, licensing agreements. Come on, monetize that creativity. But somebody rejected it. She said when she was at WYCB, the first 24-hour gospel station, she said that she got the opportunity to build a radio station from the ground up before the owners ran out of cash. Before the owners ran out of cash. They wanted Kathy to obtain a loan. She said that she replied that if she did secure a loan for them, that she wanted a piece of the company, meaning she wanted ownership in that company, meaning she wanted that equity. How dare they ask her to secure a loan, but not want to give her a piece of the ownership? That's why I say people will use you if you let them. So you got to be smart enough to know what's a good decision and what's a bad one, what's a good deal and what's a bad one. And that's exactly why I came up with that affirmation for myself that I was telling you guys about yesterday, about I only enter into mutually beneficial agreements. Because I know I got carried over by other people who I've done business with. I know I got shortchanged out of other people who I've done business with. I know I have. And realizing that and seeing that is really making me change a lot of things, which was why I said to myself, hold on, I only enter into mutually beneficial agreements. That's it. That's all. If it's going to benefit you, it got to benefit me. Especially when y'all got the coins. I ain't lying. So, and this is another thing I probably want to do, like in terms of like proposals and stuff like, because I'm talking about B2B at this point. So B2B, I know that the negotiation around your contracts is major. The negotiation around your contracts is major. So whatever your proposal is, I know I need to bump that thing all the way up, because I know that they're going to come back and try to negotiate something lower. So if they're going to try to come back and negotiate something lower, then I know I need to put a higher price point in my proposals. I'm just saying. It got to be mutually beneficial in some way, shape, or form. She said that they responded that if they thought, she said that they responded that if she thought that she was so smart, why wouldn't she go and purchase her own radio station? They asked her to take out a loan. And when she asked for equity, they said, well, if you think you're so smart, why don't you go ahead and start your own? Okay. That's all a woman like Kathy Hughes needed to hear. She said, it was as if a light went off in my head. It was a mess, but a blessing as well. That's when I decided that I would never work for anyone again. In 1979, Hughes became eager to purchase her own station and to run her own station. Kathy Hughes said that she went from place to place. She used a small apartment building that she owned, as well as her family home in Omaha as collateral. She placed her bid. She then convinced an assortment of investors, including city's most prominent Black clergy, to pump in as much needed fund. With their backing, Hughes bought WOLAM for $950,000. Kathy Hughes says at the time, radio wasn't viewed as a good investment. Banks weren't making broadcast loans. Much more daunting was the idea of a creditor lending you $1.5 million, not to mention that the individual hoping to convince you to make the loan is a Black female. Kathy Hughes says, looking back, I made 32 presentations and I was denied each time. She made 32 presentations and was denied each time. I'm going to tell y'all, it wasn't even the fact that she was denied 32 times that struck home for me. It was the fact that she did 32 presentations. So in the margins of the book, while I was reading this, I said, who are you pitching to? Who are you pitching? Who are you delivering presentations to? It stretched me. It stretched me. To really think about a marketing strategy, like a real one. Like a real one. If I want people to know what my financial education company is about, I need to get the name of the financial education company in front of the people who would be hiring them. And if I'm not pitching, if I'm not proposing, how can I expect to make 32 presentations? Kathy Hughes says that she realized that Black community needed information more than music. So each morning at 7 a.m. sharp, she hit the airwaves, offering her take on the day's events. She said for the first 18 months under its new owners, WOLAM broadcast 14 hours of talking news each day, but not without its detractors. Advertisers and lenders weren't keen on the idea. So because she was broadcasting information and news that's bound to change someone's lives, that wasn't bringing in the ad revenue that they felt like the company needed in order to repay that loan or to repay that backing or to be able to allow the investors to recoup what they invested, because they're thinking about ad revenue. She said that selling advertising was extremely difficult and revenues lagged expenses. We conducted a format search which demonstrated that one area that no one addressed was news and information for a Black audience. Hughes says that she must admit that she was terribly naive. She said that talking news is the most expensive format. Let's talk about walking by faith and not by sight. Let's talk about walking by faith and not by sight. Kathy Hughes went through a situation. She went through a situation where she was at the bricks of her marriage, if I'm not mistaken. I read that part. She was in the middle of ending an 8-year marriage. She said after that, she pleaded to the bank to buy his interest in the company, because when they bought the radio station or went in on that radio station or whatever, it was joint equity, of course. So she had to buy him out. So she bought him out. She was swamped in debt. She lost her car before losing her home. She was forced, with her and her son, to sleep on a cot at a station, bathing in a restroom. That just gave me images of what's the movie? Pursuit of Happiness. Pursuit of Happiness. She said to provide some cash flow, she bit the bullet and sold a rare white gold pocket watch that was made by slaves that belonged to her great-grandmother for $50,000. She also goes into talking about the things that she did. She took voice training and she read everything that she could to stay informed. In the midst of all of her hardship, in the midst of all of her struggle, she stayed informed. She found things to read. She found trainings to attend to keep her intellect up to par. We got to be able to stay informed. We have to be able to know what's next. We have to be able to know what's coming. We got to be able to know how the world is changing around us. Stay informed. Leaders are readers. She said less than 1 year later, Hughes bought her second station. She bought her second station for $7.5 million and was well on her way to pursuing her passion. She was cutting deals, building a media empire, creating jobs while becoming a real force throughout the country. Strong-willed and opinionated, Hughes yearned to devote the majority of her time to the business end and entrepreneurial side of the industry. Hughes reached the pinnacle of success when she forged Radio One into a multimedia empire and acquired more than 70 stations in 22 different markets, which was a deal worth $900 million. So do y'all see the correlation? 950, she was able to sell her assets, leverage her assets, convince investors to get her back by $950,000. Turn around a couple of years later, she got an arsenal of radio stations that's now worth $900 million. Add 3 zeros to that. Also taking the company public, making it one of the few Black-owned firms on the NASDAQ. Somebody say stock exchange. Stock exchange. This part, I wrote wow in the margins. In 2000, gosh, 2000 sounds so long ago. In 2000, goodness gracious, taking it back for the 99 and the 2000. Y'all know the song. In 2000, Hughes made history again. She and Radio One purchased Los Angeles KBBT FM, The Beat, for $430 million and placed actor and comedian Steve Harvey at the helm of the morning slot. Like The Quiet Storm, nearly 30 years earlier, the decision to bring Harvey on was based on intuition. Hughes studied the LA market and determined that the universally known comedian was one of the few on-air talents capable of turning the urban radio market around. Since urban audiences offer unique challenges, in order to keep listeners loyal, stations must forge meaningful relationships with their core listeners and the target audience they serve. That was a whole gem. I hope anybody that's in business picked that up. Harvey and Hughes made the formidable team. Their philosophy of empowering Blacks in business as well as in life, stopping only to ask for guidance from above, is an outlook that works. You better back your dreams up with faith. You better back your dreams up with a trust like none other. You better move on that intuition. Praise be unto the Lord. Praise be unto the Lord. Continuing on, true to form in 2004, she would once again step out on faith and shun non-believers by partnering with the cable corporation. Oh, Comcast Corporation. and introduced TV1, a Black cable network aimed at Black viewers. There is little doubt that Black entertainment television, known as BET, created by media mogul Bob Johnson, dominates, almost monopolizes Black television broadcasting. Consequently, some market analysts were and remain skeptical. However, Hughes believes there is room for another network targeting African Americans, and she may be right. Here's the powerful piece. She believed that there is room. If you believe that there is room, then that means you live in a space of opportunity. If you believe that there isn't enough room, then that means you live in a space of lack. There is enough room for everybody. Your market is different than somebody else's market. And even if you're in the same market, there is room for everybody in that market. She believed that there's room for another network. She believed that there was still space for somebody else to enter into what was a monopolized area, dominated by one major company. There is always room. To carve out space, Hughes openly states TV1's mission to provide quality, wholesome entertainment and information for African American adults. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you have your mission statement? Not just a mission statement for your business, but the mission statement for your life. Do you have a personal mission statement? Something for you to think about, something for you to live by. It's powerful to have one, by the way. A dream requires huge faith. A huge dream requires huge faith. We're going to go through this. Got a couple more sections that I wanted to kind of highlight, and then we're going to close out for today. After 30 years of being in bed with her lenders, this is Kathy Hughes, she convinced them that she did not believe in programming. She did not believe in programming the easy way, and did not believe that an owner has the right to program out for profit only. She says it's critical for us to tell our story from our perspective. When the company is Black owned, Black decision makers and Black employees promote their viewpoint or their point of view. So there has to be some social value. Hughes' personal achievement is a testament of a spirit of hope, hard work, and an incredible degree of faith. Her dedication to women-owned businesses, minority economic development, and entrepreneurial spirit are manifested in every aspect of her work in life. As such, she has been honored by both Black Enterprise and Fortune magazine. Her pioneering work has led Essence magazines to name her one of the 100 who have changed the world. Hughes is the story of one individual who found her passion early, learned as much as she could, persisted through the tough times, changed plans when necessary, and continued to hold on while there was little to hold on to. That convicted me something serious. Because sometimes we're going to have to hold on when it's just a thread left. Sometimes we're going to have to hold on when it's just a finger left. Sometimes we're going to have to hold on to that little light that may crack and peek through the curtain. We got to hold on. Holding on while there is just little to hold on to. And as long as you have a mustard seed of faith, that's all you need. A mustard seed of faith. While her work ethic continues to drive, Hughes wants all to understand the power that built her bridge over troubled waters. She advises all who will listen to persevere, be willing to do any job asked of them, believe in God, and work hard. Through it all, there was never a time when Kathy Hughes lost faith. She said, yes, I may have doubted myself. Yes, I may have doubted others, but she never lost faith in the spirit that lies at the center of her life. Hold on to your faith. There's a lot in this world that you can't see, but still can believe in, such as your hopes and your dreams. Just because you can't hold it in your hand doesn't mean that it's not there. Just because you can't hold it in your hand does not mean that it's not present. Just because you can't hold it in your hand doesn't mean that it's not a possibility. Just because you can't hold it in your hand doesn't mean that you got to let it go. Kathy Hughes says that faith was a stepping stone to all that she desired. And a huge dream requires huge faith. A huge dream requires huge faith. Let me see who was in the room. Sorry, y'all, I was talking. Let's see the chat, and then we're going to close out on the last page. Dublin Girl is in the building. Hey, Dublin Girl, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. I hope you got your copy of The Wealth Choice. If you're joining us, we're reading 10 pages at a time. We have now gotten to page 120. So we'll be reading our next 10 pages, which is going to be 121 to 130. So feel free to get your copy of The Wealth Choice, get it on audiobook, get your paperback copy, whatever you need, and jump in to this reading with us for the entire month of April, because that's what we'll be doing for Financial Literacy Month. Okay. No, I don't have a personal mission statement, but from here on out, I will. Let's go, Divinity. From here on out, I will. Yes. Yes. Coach Root says, amen. The beat station was it. Is that right, Coach Root? Acacia says, hop on over and hit like. Thank you so much, Acacia. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Q Scott got her hands raising. Acacia says, cha-ching. Coach Root says, stock exchange. Lisa Smiles must be in the building. Coach Root says, hey, Lisa Smiles. Hey, Lisa Smiles. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. Let's go. Yes. Hi, ladies. Marcus and the missus is here. Hey, it's my brother in here. Hold on now. Thoughts of a Married Christian is in the building. Shout out to the DeShields. The DeShields are in the room. Super excited that you are here, y'all. Shout out to the DeShields. So glad that y'all are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, the pursuit of happiness. Awesome. Pitching and proposing so they can be paying. Acacia. Yes. Corporate contracts. I'm trying to tell y'all. Corporate contracts. Corporate contracts. Thoughts of a Married Christian. The DeShield says, listen to the audio 2 years ago. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. If you still got it, let's listen to it again for Financial Literacy Month. Groundbreaking. It's home now. I am from Dublin, Ireland. Wow, you're from Ireland. That is so awesome, Dublin girl. Wow. Awesome sauce. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. All right. I'm going to do this last page and then we're going to close out because I promise we just going to be an hour today. We're going to be an hour because I went over yesterday. We're going to be here for an hour because I still got some more work I got to do tonight. Y'all, I've been busy, y'all. I've been busy. Woosah. Okay. The road to distinction is paved with years of sacrifice and faith. Now, y'all know I'm familiar with the word sacrifice. I feel like I've been sacrificing all my life. On page 119, it says, for those readers who search for abundance, for those who long for financial freedom, that's everybody that's in this room. For those who seek the keys to a 7-figure lifestyle and all the benefits this bracket holds, I suggest that you reread the example of this media mogul. Examine how she confronted her detractors. She did not lose heart when the hisses and the jers rang in her ears. Note her response when her first marriage crumbled and she was forced to bear the combined burden of being a woman and raising a child alone. We get a hint as to what it means to make the most out of impossible conditions. When faced with similar circumstances, perhaps 99 out of 100 men and women would have ended their march towards prosperity, but not Kathy Hughes. Although her knees did buckle, she rose to the occasion. Although her knees buckled, she rose to the occasion. And when I read this part, it reminded me to think about how the challenges, the difficulties, the upsets, the hurts, the frustrations, the depression, the raging moments, how all of those things may have served as a buckle in your knees. It may have taken you down to your knees. It may have made you cry uncontrollably. It may have made you want to even give up on life in some cases. But in that moment of the knees buckling means what? You gonna go down a little bit. You're gonna go down a little bit. But you have to decide whether or not if you're gonna choose to rise back up again. So all of the things, the hard moments, the tough moments, the disappointments, I have to look at those as knee bucklers. And every time I experience a knee buckler, I have to remember that if I'm experiencing a knee buckler in this moment, that means I've already overcome one before. So if I can buckle and rise, then I can keep buckling and rising. Deep within, Kathy Hughes knew that a wavering aim and a faltering purpose were part of her nature. Sometimes I even think about my bounce back muscle. I think my bounce back muscle is pretty strong. But sometimes these buckles can really take you down. But you got to be able to bounce back. I'm about to bounce back, bounce back. I'm about to bounce back, bounce back. Maybe you can think of that song anytime you feel like your knees is about to buckle. If you're in the middle of a knee buckle, just tell yourself, I'm about to bounce back, bounce back. I'm about to bounce back, bounce back. Let's go. Kathy Hughes' divine faith supplied all the capital she needed. Kathy Hughes' divine faith supplied all the capital that she needed. Why? Because not only do we serve an abundant God, we serve a suddenly God. He'll sprinkle that thing on you real quick. You won't even see it coming. Shock you every time. have you saying, Lord, I know I prayed this, but Lord Jesus, okay. Your faith is your capital. Your faith is your gateway to capital. Whatever that capital looks like to you that you need, it stems from your faith. She looked her creditors in the eye and refused to abjure her faith. Although she was broke and homeless, no barriers could keep her from her goals. Although you may be broken and homeless, either broken and homeless in your feelings, broken and homeless in your emotions, broken and homeless in your finances, broken and wholeness in your physical body, no barrier should keep you from your goal. No individual who walks the path of prosperity will tread very far until self-faith is born within, until he catches a glimpse of his higher noble self. That's equivalent to you becoming the best version of yourself. Until she realizes that her ambition, her aspiration are proof of her ability to reach the dream and vision that consumes her. Whew. The Creator would not have mocked us with the yearning for infinite achievement without providing us the ability and the opportunity for its realization. So you got to remember that anything that comes into your mind, any idea that's planted in your spirit, anything that's placed in you as a gift, as a passion, as a yearning, there is already achievement attached to it. It's just a matter of how long are you going to journey along the path to get to the achievement, even if it may be hard, even if it may be challenging, even if you may have curveballs, even if you may hit a pothole, even if you run out of money, even if you run out of food, even if you run out of shelter. Are you going to keep journeying along, trusting and knowing that what God placed in me, there's an achievement on the other side? What God placed in me to produce, what God placed in me to create, what God placed in me to be, what God placed in me is attached to an achievement. What did Christ care for? He says that there's nothing attractive in timidity. There's nothing attractive in being timid. And there is nothing lovable in fear. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says that if he was called on to say why so many who began their upward journey with such high hopes that they will create vast sums of wealth fall short of the mark, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough would say that they lacked faith. There is no redeeming value in people who continually cry out against their condition and stating to an incredulous world what remarkable accomplishments they could have achieved if their lots were different. Wrong. You play the hand you are dealt as you exercise your faith. Play the hand that you are dealt as you exercise your faith. Even me, I got to play the hand that I've been dealt as I'm exercising my faith. I didn't ask to be a caregiver, but that's the hand I was dealt. I didn't ask to grow up in a mentally challenged home environment, but that's the hand that I was dealt. I didn't ask to be responsible for debt at the age of 18, but that's the hand that I was dealt. I didn't ask not to know who my father was majority of my life, but that's the hand that I was dealt. I didn't ask to be raised by a single mentally challenged mother, but that was the life that I was dealt. That's the hand that I was dealt. So we got to exercise our faith with the hand that we got to play with. Here lies the third law of wealth. He who begins with crutches will generally end with crutches. Help from within always strengthen, but help from without invariably weakens. And what do we call that help from within? Faith. If you want knowledge, you must work for it. If it is food and shelter you crave, you must toil for it. If you hope for the best that money can buy, these amenities can be attained only by the sweat of your own brow. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to make a decision? Are you willing to choose to not speak by your faith, but live by your faith? Are you willing to overcome the doubt when the challenges begin to surface because you've decided? Because know when you make a decision, that's when the hurdles going to come. That's when the potholes going to come. That's when the curveballs are going to come. That's when the test will come. And the only thing that you're going to need to get you through is faith. The only thing that you're going to need to get you through is your faith. Because what? Faith is your greatest capital. Faith is your greatest capital. I had the morning inspiration, not morning inspiration. I had my calendar inspiration on my desk today, and I flipped it over and I said that I wanted to share this with you all. You probably won't be able to see it because of the camera. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. So as we journey along to strive after our dreams, to go after our goals, to want to experience the best version of ourselves in this time of life that we have, and we know that we're going to be faced with hurdles because it's never a smooth sailing like this all the way. It's going to be some dips. It's going to be some dips. So what's going to hold you when that dip comes? While you're dipping, this is when the negative self-talk starts to come in. While you're dipping, this is where all of the doubts start to come in. While you're dipping, this is where your faith can begin to diminish. You can begin to question everything when you start going through a downslide. And you have to remember that the downsides are a part of the journey. You got to brace yourself for it before it comes. Embracing yourself for it is increasing and improving your faith. Knowing like you know, like you know, like you know who sent you. Okay. Knowing like you know who sent you. And knowing that when those slides come, when those dips come, the negative talks are going to come. So a negative mind will never give you a positive life. So even in the midst of your challenges, even in the midst of your struggles, remember that a negative mind will never give you a positive life. So if you want positivity, you got to think positivity. If you want positivity, you have to believe in positivity. Even when stuff is going haywire. It's a part of the cycle. It's no different than a market drop that happens every 8, 10, 15 years. It's no different. You're going to have dips in your life market. Forget a stock market. You're going to have dips in your life market. And what's going to support you and get you through that? Your faith. My faith was challenged in 2021. I told y'all how angry I was with the Lord. I was angry with God. I was angry. And I started to give up. I barely wanted to get up in the mornings. But it was a little slither of light that happened to crack its way through my curtains while I was sleeping on a couch, barely getting any sleep, all of the craziness that was going on in this house, that encouraged me to get up and go outside because the sun peeked through the curtain and hit my eyes. Out of all times, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. All right. Queen Heart is in the building. Hey, Queen Heart, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. Let's go. Queen Heart says that every challenge is God's opportunity to show up and show out. We show up and show out. Hey. Look, it made me think about the rap that I came up with. Because we here to show up and show out. Piece of beef all 21, no doubt. You ain't got none to fear. Why? Because you got your sisters in here. Yeah, come on, y'all. I'm about to come up with a DDTV rap just for us. I'm up here making raps for other programs. I need to be making raps for this channel. I'm going to come up with something for y'all. Let's go. Dublin Girl says, great quote, so true. Coach Root says, just heard the video on breaking free of a mediocre mindset. Okay, Coach Root, what video is that? What video is that, Coach Root? Is that the title? Maybe I can pull it up and look for it. All right. Okay, y'all. I think that's it. Y'all are saying God is good and he will get all the glory in the end. Yes, he will, Lisa Smiles. Dublin Girl says, wow. Queen Hall says, church finger creeping in late. Good evening, DDTV fam. I love that. Okay, so let's go over what we're going to read for the next section. I just saw Lisa Smiles and it reminded me of, I got to say the subheaders for those who had the audiobook. So we're going to be reading from page 121. Again, that's probably the midway point to the road to distinction, paved with years of sacrifice. So 121 all the way to 130. That is going to take us to about a page and a half into, or really 2 pages into, Sweet Taste of Success. Sweet Taste of Success. So if you have the audio book, you can either go ahead and listen through that part after the Sweet Taste of Success. That'll be fine. But for those of us who have the book, then you know that we're going to 121 from 121 to 130. All right. Then the morning inspiration post is going to go out. Whew. I'm just thinking about my day tomorrow, Lord Jesus. Okay, I need that. I need to get off of here because I have some stuff that I need to do. It just hit me how early I have to get up tomorrow. And I'm still not done with work. So I need to get some things finished and work on some stuff for some clients. Oh, y'all, I cannot wait until tax season is over. I cannot wait until tax season is over. Do y'all hear me? Lord, we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it together all the way. Okay. All right. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Coach Root says, I sent it to you. Posted by RC Bishop Lakes, one of the pastors. Okay. So I'm going to check my email. If you send it to me, I'm going to check my email, Coach Root. I'll check my email. Thank you. And I will share that out once I listen to it. Let's go. Q Sky says, let's go. DDTV rap. Yes. I'm going to come up with something for y'all. I'm going to drop something. Queen Heart says, we're going to watch the replay. Yes. Watch the replay. This was good, Queen Heart. This was good. All right, everybody. Coach Root says, blessings and abundance to everybody. I think that's the perfect closing. I think that's the perfect closing and the perfect way to end out our live stream. I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Get to work. All right, y'all. Bye. See y'all tomorrow. Same channel, same time. Let's go. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia